Decentralized talk. Decentralized talk. Decentralized talk. Decentralized talk.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Decentralized Talk podcast. This is episode 2. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering the ramifications of last week's market crash. We're going to talk about cryptos and taxes, something that's going to be big changes upcoming this year. We're going to talk about some of our favorite exchanges. We're going to have a coin focus today. It's going to be Tron coin. And we're going to follow up, of course, on who's winning the 2018 Coin of the Week Challenge. Hint, it's not Hesto.
Ooh, I hate this challenge.
It's the first week, guys, so we got a lot of time. But just to be clear. So let's jump in. All right, so this week in cryptos, we had the January market crash. We talked about it a little bit on last week's episode. Let's talk a little bit about what caused it now that we've had some time for the dust to settle. Prater, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think it was a lot of the, the news that was coming out with South Korea and China probably had something to do with it. And y'all had mentioned to me, and I didn't, I think one of y'all had seen an article about it or was reading about it, how last year in January there was a crash as well. So it might just be a sell-off time, everybody taking their profits. But I think it did have a lot to do with the news that comes out. News like that comes out and a lot of people freak out and sell off. So, or like we said last week, it could have also been some of the Chinese investors just pulling out in general. But I think we had a strong comeback the last week from it, and then we're kind of down again this week. So I guess we'll see where it goes from here.
I think it's not one thing that caused, and a lot of people say the bubble burst. No, it's not a burst. It's just a correction. But I think it's multiple reasons. First of all, if any of you viewers don't know exactly what's going on with all these Asian countries, China, they already banned exchanges from operating within China a few months ago. I want to say October time, somewhere around there. So it caused a lot of those Chinese exchanges to operate right outside their borders, basically. But they still are up and running. They just can't do it within Chinese within the China's borders. But now China is talking about banning mining, which they're the second largest mining community in the world. So that's gonna be big. So yeah, obviously a lot of FUD with that. People are unsure because China's such a big market. They're such a big player in this game. That'd be a lot of volume lost. Also, South Korea, if nobody knows, they are in talks of introducing a bill to ban trading of cryptos within South Korea. So those things are going to scare people off right there. And then, if you look at the charts from the last 4 years, every January between the 12th and the 16th, there is a huge correction, usually about 30 to 40%. And that's a trend that usually happens, and I think it is quarter one, a lot of people taking profits. So it's a normal thing. Plus, it's really good for the health of the market in general because it's less bubbly. If everything just keeps going to the moon, it's going to crash down eventually really, really, really hard. So if we get these 40% corrections, 30% corrections frequently, then it's more of a healthy market that's not just going to burst and drop down to zero. So it signals a healthy market, and also it's good buying opportunities for all these altcoins and Bitcoin. And when everything's low like that, I mean, it's a great time to get in.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And so I think all these are really good points. And I think these are points that have been taken pretty strongly throughout the internet, throughout Twitter, YouTube, and pretty much throughout the cryptosphere. One of the interesting ones that I saw the other day was on a Twitter feed. It it was somebody, just a mentioner on the bottom of somebody else's Twitter feed, and it said all the real retailers who took Bitcoin this year are cashing out to pay their taxes in fiat. I thought that was really interesting too. So it's probably not the biggest reason, but it is certainly a catalyst for some of the FUD, right? So everything contributes to the FUD, like Hesto said. So it's worth taking a look at. And so if you go to masteringbitcoins.com, you take a look. Actually, I posted an article on it, Crypto Crash, January 2017 post-mortem. And we take a little bit of a deep dive into it. Hesto's updated this thing with some great pictures. And so it's really easy to see, and it's really easy to understand if you're trying to figure out what happened this time of year and if it's going to happen again, right, next year, so you can be ready for it.
Yeah, because from what I understand, it happened last year at this time. So, is it something that we're going to see next year? Could be a good buy-sell opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you know that it's coming, or if you can hedge that it's coming, if you think it's a pretty good idea that it's coming.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so next segment, we're going to talk about cryptos and taxes, guys. That's not a fun topic, right? Nobody wants to pay taxes, but you have to pay your taxes. So I guess I'm going to start this off, and just my understanding of the tax changes is that originally cryptos were taxed as a property, like you would trade artwork or something else that's a physical, tangible property, and then you would pay taxes on it when you exchange it into the fiat currency. The new change, right, in the tax market is that they want you to pay taxes on every single trade, whether you're trading from Monero to Cardano to Bitcoin. They want you to pay taxes on each one of those transactions. It's super confusing for me to find out where do you pay the taxes at. So do you pay, I guess you just pay on the gains, right? You wouldn't pay on the entire transaction, you just pay on the gains.
You pay on your capital gains. So basically, the tax laws for cryptocurrencies are going to mirror the tax laws for stock trading, pretty much. So
it's my understanding that in stock trading you don't, like, if you trade, like, 'cause in stock trading, if you
go from asset to asset, you're going to pay taxes on it. Is my understanding. I'm no tax lawyer, but my understanding is any trades you make and can potentially show capital gains, you're going to have to, like day traders. If you're a day trader and you're trading stocks, daily, I guess there's a difference though. In stock trading, you're not going to go from one stock to another. You're going to buy a stock, sell a stock, and then you're going to buy another stock. So, there is a little bit of leeway there on the difference, but.
So that makes me wonder, is it, so if that's a big, like a differing point, then I'm just trying to figure out how anybody's gonna keep track of it. And so everything I've read on the internet, everything that I've seen, everybody that's talked about, I think a lot of people chimed in about this, is that best case scenario, like for everybody out there watching, just write down what you got, right?
Yep.
Write down what you got. So I think if you show that you made an effort, that's where you'll net win, right? I mean, is that what everybody else basically got out of this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a history of all your orders, so you can go through those. But I mean, when you're talking about day traders in the crypto space, it's going to be tough to keep track of all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, even keeping track of your orders, they want you to pay taxes. My understanding is they want you to pay taxes at the exchange rate of the dollar at that moment.
Yeah.
At that moment, that's the tough part.
So you got to do Cardano to Monero. What would that be in dollar, each of those? And then did you make any capital gains on that transaction? The good part about it is if you didn't, right, then you can actually apply that to reducing your taxes, right? You can write it off as a capital loss.
You can show losses up to, what is it, up to $3,000, I think. You can only claim so much in losses.
So much, yeah.
It's it definitely doesn't seem like an easy process. I don't think TurboTax is going to help me through that one.
No. Well, it'd be nice too, and this might be something we could look into a little more. Is I know, like, I trade on Robinhood, and they actually partner stocks with TurboTax. So I export it directly into TurboTax, and all of my trades are there. If some of the exchanges would start doing something like that, man, that would be super handy. Now, at this moment, I don't know any that do that.
Yeah, so here comes a resident conspiracy theorist, right? So this is what I think. I think that the federal government is trying to put pressure on the crypto markets. And one of the ways that they can do it is that they levy this tax burden, and they levy it on you, right on the surface. But nobody's really obligated to pay any of this tax, right? And first of all, the exchanges that you're trading on may not even be American. So you may be trading a non-American currency on a VPN on a non-American exchange. Why would you pay American taxes? So I think everybody knows that at the end of the day, it's so convoluted. It doesn't make any sense to be able to pay this. So what they're going to do very shortly, my suspicion is, and you write this down, what's today? Sunday the 21st, 2018.
Bold prediction.
Bold prediction coming at you. We're going to put in a special effect for that later. So what I think is going to happen is that they're actually going to put that burden on the exchanges, just like you said. Robinhood tracks that automatically. They're going to try to force these exchanges to do that. So that's going to put an extra burden on the American exchanges. So the American exchanges, or whatever country decides that they don't want to be a part of that taxation or have that same tax policy, is going to have an advantage if you have your exchange in that country. So everybody just keep that, just be aware of that as regulation comes in, as governments find ways to weasel themselves into something that's supposed to be pure and decentralized. They're getting their fingers in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, wasn't this the whole point of the intention of Bitcoin, was that we don't need governments anymore, and we can exchange currencies between each other without a government in the middle taxing us. So
Exactly.
Maybe one day we'll get there, but it's so far in the future.
Yeah. No, it's going
to be. Taxes?
Do what?
You got any more on taxes?
I still didn't get what you said, Tater. I just heard taxes.
We're gonna edit all this out.
Taxes.
Yeah.
Taxes.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna pay taxes.
Yes, I'm gonna pay taxes.
We always pay taxes.
Yeah. It's gonna be complicated as hell. Everything I read says please or consult a tax professional.
Well, remember as well, like you only have to pay taxes if you sell. If you hodl through the year, then I mean you don't have to pay taxes. So
hey, that's actually a really good point, because so if you hodl for less than a year, then you don't. You actually you pay the higher tax rate. You pay anywhere, I think it's like 21 to 38% tax rate. But if you hodl for over a year, then you get to pay at the capital gains rate, which is I think it's up to 28%, but it could be lower than that depending on which situation.
But that's coin specific as well. So I mean, if you hodl your Neo, you would have to hold it for 12 months.
Right.
Specifically Neo.
Yeah, you have to hold specifically Neo. That whatever that transaction is, you have to hold that for 12 months to get the capital gains rate.
But you have to pay the tax on your purchase of Neo from Bitcoin.
At the time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, so my understanding is also that an exchange is the same thing as a transaction. So you're actually going to have to pay taxes on your exchanges for the Bitcoin pizza, right? So if you wanted to buy another Bitcoin pizza, you'd actually have to pay the dollar equivalent tax rate for that pizza at the retailer too. So not just on your trades, but also on your exchanges for goods or services.
Yeah, no, that was true. Now they apparently, from what I was reading, that it's not actually defined yet that from coin to coin transactions you would have to pay that. So the way it's worded is it's pretty convoluted at the moment. So if you're exchanging from Bitcoin to Neo, you could make a case for it being I forget what the terminology is, basically a similar currency, where you could say, okay, I don't have to pay this because in this tax law, it says that, I'm making a transaction from one similar currency to another. But everything I read said that just because it hasn't been, justified yet that that's going to be the taxes, you should go ahead and pay it, because if they come back and say that that's not the way it's supposed to be done, then you're going to have to go back and pay the taxes on that plus the interest plus all that. So basically just play it safe and pay them all.
Gotta pay them all. You gotta pay those
Pay 'em
taxes.
all. And keep a record of your transactions.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. All right, so I think that about covers taxes. Let's talk about exchanges. Let's get into some of the fun stuff. What's your favorite exchange, Hesto?
Right now it's Binance. Now, a lot of you viewers out there, if you don't know what Binance is or don't have Binance, it might be hard for some of you guys, some of you noobs, get Binance because they're temporarily shutting off new applications just because their volume is like so intense right now. But right now it's Binance. They got a good mobile app, which is nice. I don't usually trade on my phone, but that's cool that they have that. Their website's good. I've heard their withdrawal fees are high, but I pretty much like everything about them so far. I was a big fan of Bittrex for a long time.
Who's withdrawing?
Hmm?
Who's withdrawing?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to pay
No one's
taxes.
withdrawing. You just hodl.
No one's withdrawing. You're just hodling.
You're just hodling. But no, I mean there's a lot of good exchanges out there, but just currently the Binance is my go-to because they carry most altcoins.
Yeah.
Cool. P?
I like Bittrex. I trade on Binance. I trade on Bittrex. I've traded a little on HitBTC, Coinbase, GDAX, CoinExchange.io. I've been around a little bit, but I like Bittrex. I like that I can buy an extremely small amount of stuff sometimes on Bittrex. Same thing with Bittrex and Binance right now. They're not expecting new customers just because of the high amount of people trying to create accounts at the moment. But the fees for exiting or getting out are pretty low too. But I like to buy small amounts of coins sometimes. Some of those super cheap coins just to play with them. And they've got a great low buy. What's the word I'm looking for here?
Like a threshold?
Yeah, a buy threshold. Their buy threshold's really low, so you can get I want to say it's like $10. So and if I'm buying 10,000 coins that are under a cent, I don't want to spend $20 on them because they're probably never going to be worth anything. But I do like that Binance has more coins, it seems like, than Bittrex. But I've also really gotten into CoinExchange lately. .io. They have got a lot of just random coins on there that I've never even heard of. I don't even know what most of them do, but it's neat to kind of look at some coins that are
they probably don't do anything. That's the
thing. They haven't done anything for years, but it's neat to get on there and see these coins that are one Satoshi and haven't had a Twitter update since 2013 go up 1,000% in 4 hours.
What, are you on those Pump and Dump tweets? Those Twitter groups, of Pump and Dump group?
Oh yeah. And, they got a little chat box, and everybody is constantly pumping it, all the coins in there. It's crazy. It's just fun to get in there and watch the chat box sometimes because it's like 16 people going, Rooster Coin's gonna go up. And it's like, what the hell is Rooster Coin?
Oh, you guys are just now getting in on that Rooster Coin? Oh my God, y'all missed the boat on that Rooster Coin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did. Rooster Coin is done now, but man, it had a day. It had a day in the sun the other day. But
as far as exchanges go, I'm pretty old school, right? So I like Coinbase. I mean, I get in, I change my fiat for whichever coin I'm going to buy into on Coinbase, and then I use Coinbase to send it to typically Bittrex. Coinbase is great because it brings in all the new people. It's the easiest. I think it's the one that looks the prettiest. It's the one that looks most like what somebody who's used to TD Ameritrade or Scottrade or traditional kind of investing platforms. So for me, I don't keep it super fancy. Although I have read online that that's not the best way to do it. Like it's better to go through other exchanges and then go back through Coinbase because their deposit fees are higher. So we'll do a spot on that a little bit later and find out, or we'll post an article on masteringbitcoins.com and let you guys know about that.
I personally like to use Coinbase too, and one of the big reasons I like Coinbase is they are FDIC insured.
Yep.
So if Coinbase were to fail as a business or just crash in general, your funds are insured up to $250,000. So that's a nice little safety blanket there. So I keep quite a bit of mine in Coinbase. My $250,000 that I have in there. I like
Yeah, the other cool thing about Coinbase is that like in the last big crash, Bitcoin was going down. It dipped into the 9,000s, right, in the high 9,000s. So I got a text from Heston. He said that he picked up some Bitcoin in the high 9,000s. I thought, oh my God, man, I don't have any fiat right now on the exchanges. Everything's freezing up. Everything's going crazy. As you guys know, that's what happens, right? Every time the market dips crazy, all of a sudden all the exchanges act like they don't know how to work. So, they won't let you pull any money out. They won't let you add any money into it. Luckily, Coinbase was working decent enough that I could throw the bare minimum, which is the $300, right, that you can put into an exchange. And I pulled the trigger on the Bitcoin and picked it up in the high 9s. So it's a cool exchange for a couple of reasons. It's just we're waiting for it to grow with the different coins that it offers, right?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's nice too. You can, if you link your bank account to it, you can put money on there, no fees there. And then if you transfer to GDAX and then buy on GDAX, you can get a closer to market rate price on your coins. Obviously you can only buy Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum on there, but then you can transfer it to there to your Bittrex, your Binance, your Coin Exchange account from there, and
Ripple
still,
coming soon.
Yeah, sure it is.
Maybe. My personal opinion on Coinbase, I think it's great. I think it's great exchange for beginners. Somebody just coming into the space, it's perfect because they got a mobile app. It's so user friendly. Anybody could understand that. But they kill you with fees. So once you really start putting more and more and more money in, I think first of all it's crucial to use GDAX because they're basically the same company, they're partnered together. It's crucial to if you deposit in Coinbase to throw it in GDAX because that's free. There's no transaction fee there. And then once you transfer it from GDAX to another exchange, it's 0.05%. So it's so much lower than what you're going to be paying on Coinbase. Because Coinbase, you might be looking at $30 transaction fee to go from Coinbase to Binance or Bittrex or something like that. With GDAX, it's dirt cheap. So yeah, if you're going to use Coinbase, I say definitely use GDAX as well. But we'll go over all that stuff more in depth, in another podcast.
Oh, and we'll post all the links to these sites in the comment section down below. So if y'all are interested in checking them out, we'll have all the links down there for y'all to go to them.
Love it, guys. All right, moving on. Coin Focus, and this is where we put another big explosion or something like that. My head will pop off or something. Turn into a spin around. So Coin Focus today. We used to call it Coin Debate. We're gonna have Coin Focus, right? Because we don't
never really debate anything.
Yeah.
It seems like we usually agree, so that's not much of a debate.
Plus Tron is hot right now. Don't be caught calling it Tron Coin. Don't look like an amateur.
Do never call it Tron Coin.
What's your opinion of Tron Coin, Tater?
Well, before we get into Tron Coin, I do want to tell all our listeners and viewers that we're not professional financial advisors. This is not professional financial advice. We're just a couple of guys that love crypto, and this is for entertainment and information purposes only. But yeah, how do you feel, Brandon, about Tron?
I don't know anything about Tron. I don't invest in Tron. I don't buy that shit coin.
Well, I guess there we go. That's all we need to know right there.
Whoa.
Yeah, I stick to the basics. I stick to the basic coins.
I am invested in Tron, not heavily, but I am invested in Tron. So I know I've definitely done my research on Tron. There's a lot to like about Tron, but at this point, it's so extremely overvalued. So basically, what Tron is they're trying to decentralize the entertainment and content creation industry. So when you say create an app, you don't have to go through the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. You can just distribute your app however you want to distribute it. You don't have to go through these corporations to do so. So it's, ambitious project, and they want to create, supposedly their words, they want to create the Internet 4.0. So they want to just decentralize the entire internet and basically take power away from these large corporations like Time Warner and all these ISPs and put it in the people's hands. Now, so I mean, a lot of ambition there. But if they can pull it off, oh my God, this thing could be worth so much money. But at this point, it's pure speculation because they're not going to have a working product. Their own roadmap says this for 8 to 10 years. So, I mean, this company was founded in April of last year by a guy named Justin Sun, and he a lot of people know him in like the business community because he founded a social media app in China. It's like a voice live streaming media app. It's called Peiyou, and it's the biggest one in in China. It has 10 million users. Huge company. He also, one of his mentors is the founder of Alibaba Group, Jack Ma. So, he's got some good advice from people. He also worked at Ripple for 2 years. Yeah. He headed Ripple's China operations. So, I mean, the guy is a good businessman, and, he knows what he's doing. And I think this could probably be successful, but to have this kind of value right out the gates, just a couple months after they announced all of these visions that they have of all this amazing stuff they're going to pull off, I just think we're way, way, way too soon into Tron's vision for this to have really any value. Just 10 years out, I mean, it's going to be 10 years from now till they actually have something. And can they accomplish all these ambitious goals? I mean, I don't know. It's just way too early to see.
Well, there's 65 billion coins too. I mean, so how much higher can the price of Tron go up, especially in the short term with them not having a working product? And I mean, 65 billion coins is just so many coins.
Yeah, no, I think right now all it is it's just a bunch of people heard about it, and I don't know, social media and YouTube got a hold of it and we're like, Tron's this big hot, it's the hot coin on the block right now, you guys got to get it. And then speculation just took it off. I mean, it just skyrocketed. And I had read about Tron before it kind of mooned or whatever, and I liked where their head was at. I definitely like the idea that the problem they're trying to solve, but it's just so early in their development, and I mean, now I'm still invested in it, don't get me wrong, but it's still really early.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, with the big topics of net neutrality right now, and that's basically the opposite of what they're trying to do. They're trying to break down net neutrality. on a larger scale there. I think that kind of drove it to the forefront as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think if you want to get some Tron, go for it. Get some Tron, but don't expect huge returns this year. Don't expect huge returns in 5 years. But if you want to go out there, I mean, it's still pretty cheap. It's like what, 5 or 6 cents right now or something.
It is.
Go out
7
there
cents,
and pick
yeah.
some up, and then just expect
Hold
to
on
hold
to it.
that for 10 years. That's going to be a really, really long-term investment. So go for it. Grab some. Now I still think it's going to go lower, definitely. But I would maybe wait a little bit and then get it when it's cheaper, and then just hold on to that thing for years and years and years. And then if they can pull it off, man, that thing you made it. There's your
never
moonshot
know.
right there.
Well, and apparently they're working on a lot of business level partnerships currently. So, just the news of partnering with a major business is going to drive up the coin
yeah.
price. And
Yeah.
you look at Omisigo, Ripple, a lot of these are getting price hikes from, partnerships themselves. So, if Tron can, bring in those partnerships like they say they are, that can drive up the price as well, even without a working product.
Yep.
All right, guys. Tron, coin of the week. I'll teach you
About
some.
the week. Coin of the future,
Coin of the
possibly,
future.
or not.
Coin of the future, or don't, because this is
Yeah. Do your own research
investing
and see what
advice.
you think about Tron.
That's the main thing, guys. Is just don't listen to us. Don't listen to anybody else on YouTube. You've
Listen
got
to
to do
yourself.
your diligence and do your own research.
Yeah.
The few minutes that we just spent talking about Tron, it doesn't even scratch the surface of all they're doing in this project. So you gotta do your own research. Don't just watch one YouTube video and be like, you know what, that's a great investment, and throw your money into it. No, you got to read and read and read. Read
The
their white
Tron
paper to
website.
really understand.
Yeah, I think it's Tron.network. We'll throw a link down in the comments section too, and if you're interested in it, hop on there, check out their white page, read through their stuff, follow Justin Sun on Twitter, and see what you think about it. And
have you seen him on Twitter, man? That guy is active
all the time. He is active.
He is. Yeah, he loves Twitter.
Hey, speaking of Twitter, y'all need to follow at MasterBCs, right? It's Decentralized Talk at MasterBCs on Twitter, right? Make sure you follow Justin Sun. Make sure you follow at MasterBCs.
We be tweeting out better stuff than Trump. Maybe not as entertaining, but yeah, maybe not as entertaining.
I'm gonna make a bold statement right here. Our tweets will be better than Trump's tweets. I'm just gonna say it.
At least grammatically.
Coming from our social media manager. I think Taylor's just ready to get on to the breakout or to the coin challenge here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think this is his main focus right here.
It's week 1. We're at coin of the week, and if you guys tuned into last week, which odds are you didn't?
Because we only had 13 views.
I tuned in.
If you tuned in last week, then you know that I picked Navcoin. We started. It was at a price point of $3.98. It is now at a price point of $3.37 So based on a $100 investment, I am at a negative, right, at 84. Heston picked OMG.
OMG.
He's down. So we're talking about a $24.98 starting price. It's currently at $19.05. A $100 investment, that's $76.26. And P.
Me say no.
Rounding out with a solid choice, Litecoin, $251.48. So if you had a $100 investment, you got half of a coin, 80% of a coin. $205 currently, $205.91. That's $81.89. So actually, it was a pretty close. Horse race. Unfortunately, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser, and that's just part of the game. So here we are. We'll see if I talk this much shit next week. Who knows?
Yep.
Predator, what's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is Neo. I'm looking for a rebound on Neo this week. For the second week in a row, I'm going with the highest priced coin of everybody. So we'll see how that works out. It wasn't too bad last week, so they came in second. But I mean, I think everybody knows about Neo. You know, if
My
you're
favorite coin.
Yep. Check out last week's podcast to hear a little bit about Neo on there. But I just think with it being down so much, I think it has a rebound week here, and I'm gonna be rooting for it.
Awesome.
Even
All
though
right,
that's
I'm
not my
coming
coin
at
of the week, I still be rooting for Neo. I'm always rooting for Neo.
Well,
Yeah, I'm a fan.
this week, ADA, that's where it's at. It's at $1.03 right now, price point. We're looking for some big gains. I'm looking for gains all across the board right now. I think as everybody kind of settles down after the big drop, people are coming back into the board, and we're going to have our continuous kind of steady gains before the next kind of season of volatility. So we're going with Cardano, ADA, $1.03, second week. Let's make it happen.
No, I like Cardano.
I do too.
I'm definitely a fan of Cardano. I've been trying to get me some, and I'm disappointed in Bittrex. They haven't been selling it on there. It's been a snapshot, and you can't actually purchase any. So I'm trying to hop on there this week and see if I can't snag some and get some Tater's coin of the week.
Yeah, I like Cardano. I think it's going to do about what Neo did. It's just in its early stages. I mean, Neo started out at that, that low price level too, but I think Cardano is going to do the same thing Neo did. So I actually do my dollar cost averaging on Cardano, and you can go on our website, and I'm going to have the templates up there and all that. But I like Cardano long term. I don't know about this week. I think it still kind of keeps. I think it just trades sideways, honestly, about 70 cents. But we'll see next week. My coin of the week is ARK. I don't know if you guys have heard of ARK. It's got a pretty low market cap right now, but they basically are trying to create like a sandbox ecosystem where businesses can create their own blockchain, and they use like the ARK blockchain as like a template almost. So it makes it user friendly, so you don't have to be like an insane developer to develop blockchain programs and protocols. So you can just use ARK, which they just make it user friendly to create your little blockchain business instead of hiring some expert blockchain programmer to run to program your blockchain. You can just use ARK. It's like an ecosystem where it makes it easier for people. So I like it long term, but this week I think it's going to rebound from where it's at. Now, it's hard to say these coins are going to rebound because everything's down right now. So the market would have to rebound in general. But no, I like ARK this week. I think it's oversold, and I think it'll bounce back. But we'll see. I don't have a good track record after week one. I don't know.
Yeah, well, don't listen to that guy. But heads up here, I foobarred the show notes there and put in the wrong coin for Tater. So Cardano.
Oh yeah, 60 cents. Yeah, that's all right.
It was at 60 cents. So
I bought it at 75. So I'll take the lump this week if that's where it's going to drop. So hopefully I'll just break even and get back up to 75. That's what I'm looking for. That'd be a big gain.
Well, see, that's why I do the dollar cost averaging on Cardano, because I don't care if it goes up or down. I'm just going to keep throwing my money in every Friday, like clockwork. Because right now I'm under on Cardano for sure, but it's about it's a long con.
Hesto's going to be doing the dollar cost averaging on Cardano, and I'm going to buy in at all the dips, and we're going to see how it turns out at the end of the year. So
yeah. Basically, one buy in a week. Is that what we're doing? One buy in a week?
I haven't decided how I'm doing mine yet. I don't know if I'm going to do one buy in a week or just buy the dips up to the price point where you're going to be at and just make sure I hit that price mark at the end of the year so that I've got the same.
Yeah.
I bought in the same amount, but I might have bought in, earlier or later.
Okay.
So far, I've been buying in every week on the dip. So
I say the dips scare me. Because the dips in crypto are not like the dips in like my 401k.
It's like
Dips in crypto
35%.
Yeah, you can buy the dips for 6 months and then lose it all. Yeah, so the same thing with ADA. I bought that Cardano on the very first dip of the big Korean crash. The first day of the Korean crash, everything dropped like 40%. I thought, oh man, I'm gonna be so smart and come in here and pull this Cardano off it. It was up around, I don't know, $1 plus, and I picked it up at 75 cents, thinking, okay, here we go. Because I heard Hesto was talking about his dollar cost averaging, and so I said, okay, well, this is an opportunity for me to just kind of jump in there and do that, at the same time. But I got hammered on that, so we'll see how.
Oh, just hold it, man. It'll get there. It'll get there. It's the next Ethereum. They got a good project. I won't go into all of it, but they got a good project going on.
Yeah, and guys, we'll go into these projects more and more and more as the website develops, masteringbitcoins.com, right? We'll tweet about these at MasterBCs. We got a lot of cool stuff coming for you guys. We got a lot of cool information that's coming down the pipe. And we got some great things, great developments in the website in general. We got a brand new logo. We got some hot new music from Fiverr.
It's the hotness.
It's the hotness. So I mean, I know you guys want to jump in on the coins at .quadruple03. Well, jump in on Decentralized Talk podcast. We're here. We're starting it off, and we're looking to grow. We're going to be here every week, and we're going to be filling the podcast waves up with information.
Yeah. If y'all have any questions, hop on. We'd be more than happy to answer them, or any topics you want us to go over. Put them in the comments section. We'll look through them and throw them in next week's podcast, or a following podcast.
Yeah, and as always, we do personally read each one of your comments and questions. So don't be afraid to let them rip, because we're here to answer those questions and do the research for you. Right? You're a busy person. Let us do it.
Yeah.
Cool?
And subscribe and crush that like button, guys. Crush it.
Still do your own research as well.
Can't forget that.
At this time, it's not hard to read all your comments because, we got 13 viewers. So, we go through over and over and over again.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Deuces.
Yeah.